Women's Empowerment event. I will be introducing our speaker for the day, Renona Peoples. My name is Joanna Wofford. I met Renona back in 1996 at Middle Tennessee State University. She and I had a couple classes together, and we just kind of hit it off from that moment, and we have been the best of friends ever since. Granted, we've had our ups and downs over the years, but at the end of the day, love is what has kept us together. I work for the state of Tennessee. I am a program manager, and I've been with the state for about 15 years, and through some of those times it's been trying, and I've always been able to go to Renona in case I ever needed some assistance, some encouragement, and things like that. So I really, really value our friendship. It's more like a sisterhood than a friendship, and I really, really do appreciate her. So I am grateful to have this opportunity to introduce her to you all. Renona Peoples is a survivor of domestic violence who defeated the odds of abuse and a toxic relationship. Her target speaking audience is women in transition, domestic violence survivors, basically. She holds a BA in Business Management from Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with an emphasis in human resource management. She specializes in areas of expertise for women's empowerment, domestic violence awareness, health and well-being, including mental health and weight loss, in addition to career development via HR, best practices, and recruiting. Renona Peoples is a wife, a mother of 2 teenage sons, and serves as a trailblazing entrepreneur. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Renona Peoples Life Coaching. Job. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to Renona Peoples' first Women's Empowerment Session, Facebook Live. We are getting ready to get started now, and I have some great things that I want to share with you. I think Joanna did a wonderful job introducing me, who I am. I am Renona's Peoples with Peoples Life Coaching, and I want to come today to talk about being a survivor. Amen. So the first thing I want to do first is to salute all my veterans today. Happy Veterans Day. You guys have survived so much serving our country, fighting for our freedom every day. So I want to talk about how we as women can also be survivors. How I survived. And not only how you can survive, but how you can thrive after the survival process. So today, women, we're going into boot camp. This is a boot camp session on how to survive. So, one of the first things that I want to talk about that's very prevalent in the military and also with women is PTSD. Does anybody know what that is? What is that? Post-traumatic stress syndrome? You got it. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, I suffered from that after coming out of a very traumatic, abusive relationship with a past relationship that I had. And the trauma came from me blocking it out. I literally had someone that would throw things at me, would tear me down mentally, call me fat, call me female dogs, telling me that nobody would ever want me. I was just damaged goods. I was dumb. I would never amount to anything. I didn't come from a good family. I was broke, busted, disgusted. And I started to believe all those things that were embedded in my head. Not only did the mental trauma damage me, because the mental words hurt more than the physical abuse, because mentally, those things stick with you, and you start to believe it. I want you to think about that for a minute. And then with the physical trauma, it was the bruises.
You know, we talk about soldiers having the war room wounds. You know, you can have the wounds on your body. I too was a soldier because I had the war wounds, the bruises all over my arms, my back, my face, the black eyes. And I hid it, I covered it up, I camouflaged. Soldiers camouflage to keep from being seen. I camouflaged that hurt every day because I didn't want my family, my friends, my coworkers to know what I was going through. So living inside, I was surviving, but I was really dying, and nobody knew. So what do you do when you're being traumatized and victimized? You can survive. The first way to survive is with resiliency. Resiliency in the military is a psychological process to cope with overcoming stress and adversity exposures. So I had to psychologically start seeing a counselor, and I had to start talking about what I was going through. Why? Couldn't share it with everybody. I was embarrassed. And then two, when you become a victim of a narcissist, and a narcissist is someone that makes you think you're at fault. Oh, well, you're questioning me, so I have a right to hit you. Oh, you're questioning me about the bills and why the light's being turned off and the water's not being paid, so I have a right to throw something at you. A narcissist is the most demonic type of spirit you can have because they will flip it on you and make you think you're at fault. So we as women, we gotta bind that. Don't let anybody take up space in your head that they have not paid for. If you don't remember anything else I said today, don't let anybody take up space in your head that they haven't paid for. So I started going to a counselor, and I started blocking things out. One of the hardest things I remember, I was sitting there holding my son. He was a baby at the time. And the person I was with, they swung to hit me. They missed me and hit my son. I couldn't tell anybody that, so I had to psychologically go speak to a counselor and tell her what had happened. I remember sitting there in the comfort of my living room, and the person traumatized me. And you talk about tormenting in the army. You know how they torment and they have the different things where they torment people. I was tormented in my own home where they would just do nasty, violent things that get me to react. And if I reacted or I jumped or moved, they thought that was their permission to put their hands on me. And you ask, why did I take that? Glad you asked. I lost track of who I was as a woman. I lost track of Renona. Why? Because I started living my life through a man. And as you know, the creator that we serve, he's a jealous creator. And he told me, this is happening to you because you're worshiping an idol God. When you start worshiping a man and false idols, money, clothes, shoes, your job, he's a jealous creator. And if you don't put your faith and your love and your trust in him, everything you do is going to fall apart because he's very jealous. So you better get a relationship with him. And I tell people this, and I'm going to say it, and I know I'm going to step on some toes, and I'm going to say it. I am a faith-based life coach, and I'm a minister. And I don't put down my cloth for anybody. For no coins, for no speaking engagement, for nothing. And if that's what you want me to do, I'm not that chick for you. I'm not the one that you need to hire to speak at your events because I'm not going to put down who I am because I know who he called me to be. So don't never put down your cloth for the world. The other part of surviving in the military is mental toughness. Did y'all know that the human body is built for survival and it will adapt to handle stress and attitude and self-esteem? Did you guys know that? I didn't know that the reason I could still wake up every day after being beat and bruised and verbally and physically abused, I didn't know that I could still strive every day because my body was built as a woman to take on stress. Did y'all know that? So think about stress of childbearing. We survived that, right? Stress of relationships. We survived that. Stress of being sick and still can get up and cook and clean and take care of things. We're some bad women, y'all. And our bodies are built to take on stress, but that doesn't mean we want the stress. It doesn't mean we have to have it, right? But we as women survive the mental toughness, because our bodies were built for this. And the other part is coping skills, and I want to talk to y'all about how do you cope. The coping skills in the military and even in life, we have flashbacks that can occur when we experience traumatic events. And the way to deal with having a flashback is to acknowledge that you're having a flashback. I know one particular dear friend I have that's in the audience. Years ago, she lost her husband. She's a survivor to me. She survived that. She's a widow, but she's a survivor. And I'm sure she has flashbacks of those beautiful moments that she shared with her husband, where he loved her, adored her, took care of her, provided for her, a wonderful man. Amen. And she handles those flashbacks because she acknowledges that she lost her husband. She acknowledges the pain. That's the first step in dealing with the coping. And when you acknowledge that you've been abused, when you acknowledge that you've been hurt by someone in a relationship, when you acknowledge those things, then you can deal with it. Then you have to turn to what gives you comfort when you have those flashbacks. For people in the military, it could be when they get a blanket, just like a baby. They'll cuddle themselves or wrap themselves for security. For me, those lonely nights, when I didn't have my children with me, when they were ripped apart from me, when I left the relationship and I was by myself, those cold, lonely nights, laying on an air mattress in Atlanta, Georgia, bugs bigger than my face crawling past me, didn't even have enough money to buy toilet paper, using napkins from McDonald's. Nobody knows that story. But it's called survival. I was still alive because I escaped an abusive situation. And I still had a roof over my head. I had transportation. I had food. I had everything in my survival kit that I needed. And most important of all, I had my master. That's how I survived. So my comfort was meditating and reading my word every night. My security was my security blanket and my pillow. I didn't need to go out and look for a man or anything. I had the comfort that I needed right there. And sometimes when we're coping with those traumatic events, you have to steal away by yourself. You got to get out there on an island, a deserted island by yourself, just like a soldier. And you know that you either do or you die. Get alone to yourself and ask yourself, why is this happening to me? What did I do to allow the enemy in? How do I form my exit strategy to exit stage left to get out? That's what you have to do, because you have a choice. Then in the military, they talk about SHARP. SHARP is S-H-A-R-P, and that's the Sexual Harassment Assault Response Program. As women, and even as men, I'm going to charge you too, and even military, when you have a sister and you know she's being verbally or physically abused, it is your charge and obligation to intervene and step in. Because what if you don't? What if I come to you and tell you I'm being abused every single last day, and you don't intervene on my behalf, but the next day you call me, you don't get an answer from me. You come to my house and you find me dead in a pool of blood. That charge is on your life forever, isn't it? Because you didn't intervene. So when someone comes to you, or when you know that they're struggling through verbal, mental, or physical abuse, I charge each and every last one of you in the audience and Facebook audience, you have to step up and intervene. If they're being sexually abused, if they're being physically abused, mentally abused, financially abused, whatever it is, you have to step up and be your sister's keeper. Can I get everybody to commit to doing that? Step up and be your sister's keeper. Step up in the military and be your brother and your sister's keeper. Equal opportunity. My best friend stood up and talked about how she's a manager from the state of Tennessee and how she excelled in what she's doing. Number one, as an African-American woman. And number two, as a woman. That's made. We have a lot of powerful women in this audience that are in quality control, engineering, education, all those things, healthcare, cosmetology, all those things, management. All women, I want us to step up and know that we have a right in this country to be anything that we want to be. And don't you ever let anybody tell you that you cannot. And I'll go back to what I said. If you can birth a child, still get up, cook, clean, throw on a little bit of makeup, and still take care of home, there is nothing that you can't achieve. So we have equal rights just like a man or a woman. We matter. So remember that. Because I don't depend on man. As much as I love my wonderful husband, I don't depend on him. Because what if he leaves me tomorrow? What if he passes away? And I'm sitting here and I don't even know how to balance a checkbook. I don't even know how to pump my own gas. I don't know how to take the trash out. I don't know how to feed the dog. Lord, Scrappy, I don't want you to die, child, so I need to learn how to feed the dog. But I'm asking our women, be independent and be equal, knowing who you are and your strength. Don't ever depend on a man or anybody or anything. You depend on you. You rise up. You let that warrior, just like them soldiers within you, rise up so you can stand on your own 2 feet. And then it starts with our little girls. Teach them at an early age, our little butterflies. That's why I have the butterflies, because I came from being bruised in a cocoon like a caterpillar, and then you blossom like a butterfly and you soar. So we got to start at baby stage to teach them the red flags of abusive, toxic relations with boys, and how to carry themselves like the queens that they are, and how to respect themselves. It starts at an early age. It starts at an early age with our young boys, teaching them how to be the kings and the Boaz men that they are. Respect a woman, open the door for them, say yes ma'am, no ma'am, and more importantly, respect yourself. And even as young men, don't depend on a woman for anything. My sons, they know how to do their own laundry, they know how to cook, they know how to clean, they know how to iron their own clothes, they know how to, what are we talking about today? Survive. They know how to survive. And that's what I want us all to learn. Engaged leadership, and I think Joanna can probably talk about this best. Engaged leadership is lead by example. And I'm going to charge all of us mothers. Woo, this is tough.
Yes.
Woo, it's tough. Lead by example. Don't think your children are watching. Even when they're babies, even when they are older. I remember when my sons were younger, my youngest, we were outside. I was like, well, come on in and eat. And he had a word that came out of his mouth. I'm like, where you learn that from? Where do you think he learned it from? He learned it from me. It was learned behavior. So I'm like, I'm really not being a good example, leading by example. So I had to learn lead by example because they are watching. On your jobs, don't think they're not watching. Your co-workers, your peers, your managers, your clients, they're watching you. Lead by example. Don't be so self-centered and mean and feel like, well, I'm the boss, or I don't need them. They ain't paying me. They're not paying my bills. I don't care how people treat you. You be the professional person that you know that you are. You step up and you set the atmosphere. You walk in that job every morning. You set the atmosphere. Good morning. I don't even look for you to speak back to me, but I'm going to be the adult and say good morning to you. Because I'm going to kill you with kindness. And I'm going to make my enemies my footstools. I know people don't like me. I know people don't care for me. And it's okay, because you know what the Lord told me? You can't handle my anointing. You can't handle my strength. And I'm building an army of strong, powerful women. And it's not by accident that y'all are in this audience, because I only select and deal with a select few. I'm very careful in the company I keep, because when I got to go to battle, when I got to go to war, I need some soldiers by my side. Not people that's going to stab me in my back. Not people that's going to talk about me. Not people that's going to secretly be my secret admirers and hate on me. I don't have time for that. And the Lord told me there has to be separation before there's elevation. So a lot of people have been cut off. A lot of people felt the wayside. Thank you. Thank you for doing me a favor, doing that for me, making my job easier. Bye, Felicia. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about is toxic leadership and toxic relationships. And I told y'all, I remember I was being pimped out. I missed my dad when I was in high school. I missed my dad when I was in college. So what did I do? I looked for a man to be my daddy. Because I missed my dad. I missed having a daddy lap to sit in and talk to and cry on and tell him my things. I missed my daddy, so I looked for a man to be my dad. And because of that, I allowed a man to dangle that carrot of money, cars, houses, trips, all those things in my face. I was pimped out, but I allowed it. And let me tell you something. People will only do to you what you allow them to do. You hear me? They only will do to you what you allow them to do. So know who and whose you are. And don't let anybody fill you with that toxic and that poisoning that they're going to give you. Because the enemy, what does he come to do? Kill, steal, and destroy. And he works even harder than our master, but I know I got a master that covers me. And one way to have a successful relationship, because we've all been hurt, we've all been through things. I don't put my trust in man. I don't put my trust in my husband. I put my trust in God. Why? Because he's the one that protects me. I have so much faith in him. He has my back so strong. I don't have to ever worry about anybody being unfaithful to me, hurting me, abusing me, lying, cheating, sneaking. You know why? He protects me. He said, put your faith in me and not in man. And if you trust him, no great things will he withhold from thee. Build up your faith and build up your trust in him and not man, and you'll never fail. That's the best sleep I get now, y'all. I don't have all that gray hair in my head. And I can sleep and I don't have all those wrinkles. Why? Put my faith and my trust in him, not in my man. Although I love you, baby. But I don't put my faith in him. I put my faith in Christ Jesus, and I want y'all to do the same. When you do that, you will be less bitter. You will start becoming what you want to attract, because trust me, you may think, well, I'm good, high on the spot, Billy Bob, I'm good. No, you carrying that baggage, and the next man can see that. They don't want a bitter woman. We've been deemed as the angry black woman. We ain't angry. We just have low tolerance for BS. And we ain't taking it no more, right? We ain't angry. We're just not going to be your puppet and your fool anymore. So, become what you want to attract. A beautiful, strong, powerful woman that's busy in the fields. And a man is supposed to find you busy. Not being mad, not being bitter, not chasing him, not being a thought, not in the clubs, not in the streets. He's supposed to find you busy in the fields, working on you, being that Ruth. Let your Boaz find you. That's what you're supposed to do. Stay busy, stay working. Don't worry about a mate looking for them. It says when a man finds a wife, he finds a great thing. Let him find you. Stop chasing these men. Because they ain't worthy to be chased. Don't chase dogs. Let them find you. But when you find them, when they find you, keep them. Don't run them off. Keep them, and you keep them by working on you, meaning the same way he found you busy when he found you, stay busy. That way you're an asset, and you let him know, I'm good with and without you. And when a man sees that strength in you, he'll stay, because he'll know she's not needy. Mm-hmm. She don't need me for anything. That's sexy to me. Mm-hmm. That's attractive. I know my woman's good, so it might behoove me to stay with her. It might make sense if I do right and I work and I take care of her and I respect her, because she's so strong, she ain't gonna put up my crap. I don't want to go to bed as a man with one eye open and one eye closed. I want to make sure I'm treating my woman right. And that's the same with our soldiers. You treat each other right and you respect each other. And the most important thing, and I'm going to close, is be, know, do. Be, know, do. And when you be, know, do, you want to believe in yourself. Believe in your mission, and every woman should have a mission statement of why do you exist? Why are you living? Why haven't you died? Why are you here on this earth? And if you don't know, you better learn what your mission is, because that's your survival. I want everybody to select a role model and follow his or her example. For me, y'all didn't know, but all y'all are my role models. I look up to my best friend Kim because she's been my dear friend ever since. We go way back to Candyland. Remember I always say that? And she's not only my cousin, but she's my dear best friend. She's my supporter. I can't speak enough about how she's been there for me. And that's the type of soldier that you want in your army. I can't speak enough about Joanna, my best friend, my sister. She was the one that came and rescued me when I had the courage to walk away from an abusive marriage. She came and rescued me and my children when my perpetrator, my narcissistic, demonic person that I was with, when they took my car and hid it, and I couldn't find my car to even get back to work because I lost my management position at Verizon Wireless. But I had the right people in my camp. She came and rescued me, and I'll never forget that. And she's still being here, you know, just like sisters. You know, just real sisters. You fight, you have disagreements. That doesn't take away the love. You still come back and you pick right up where you left off. Sharon Garrett, love her dearly. When I had to uproot from Atlanta, Georgia and come back to Pulaski, I didn't talk to anybody. This is my hometown. I was embarrassed. I didn't have my children with me because the perpetrator had ripped my children away from me as part of control, to still try to control me as abuse. He succeeded through the courts of ripping my children away from me to still try to control me, but it's okay because I feel like this. You want to be a father and a mama? I'm going to show you how tough it is to do both. You want it? You can have it, but guess what? You can never take that birthright from me of being a mother to my children. Their seed was birthed in me. And everything that the devil meant for bad, God meant for good. My children were ripped apart from me when I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I chose not to come back to that perpetrator. You can't dangle a carrot in my face and tell me to come back. This will always be your home. You will always be my wife. Say, what now? I didn't get that memo. I thought I filed a divorce. I thought I signed the divorce papers. I thought I moved away when you moved right across the street from me. And I'm surviving divorce and you still stalking and perpetrating me. So I did what a young evangelist said. I did my work. I worked every day. I let all those expensive cars and material things that I didn't need. I did a Tina Turner. I let it go back. I don't even want your name. I don't even want the belongings. I let it all go back. I did my work. I got my own vehicle. I had my own roof over my head. And what saved me was when I got my career with the state of Tennessee. Drove back and forth from Jawana, continued Sharon. Drove back and forth from Pulaski, Tennessee every day on highways and byways just to make ends meet for my children. Had to pay child support for my children being ripped apart from me. And remember, I was a survivor. I survived domestic violence, but you put me on child support. And I couldn't fight you because I didn't have the money to fight you financially. But I did what the courts ordered me to do. Drove back and forth from Atlanta every other weekend just to see my children. Driving like I was a truck driver on the highways and byways every weekend. So I never missed a beat being a mother. Drive from Pulaski to Spring Hill every morning. Get on the bus. State of Tennessee, you have to wait an entire month before you even get paid. Didn't have a bus pass. Didn't have money for gas. I remember I had to borrow money from my cousin Kim for gas. I borrowed money from Joanna for gas. I borrowed money from Sharon for gas. But I set aside my pride and I humbled myself because I learned to fight and I learned to survive. And I did that. And the Lord told me it's okay to be back at home because you need to be at home to your family, your church, and your friends. And I stayed here and I rebuilt myself. And then the Lord made a way where I could move closer to Laverne, to my job. Credit was tore up from the floor up. But the Lord gave me favor to be able to get approved when I got my own place. And at that time, the Lord said, you put first things first and stop looking for a mate, stop looking for somebody to take care of you, stop looking for somebody to help you. Make a long story short, I was on a dating site. Didn't believe in that crap. I'm very private. But the day I was going to shut my profile down, I was like, I don't know who this person is that keeps sending me these emails. He's like a professor. I ain't fooling with him. You know, at that time, I was all into them corporate thugs, that we call them. Them street boys who got that little money. That's what I was into. The Lord said, it ain't about what you want, it's about what you need. So the day I was going to shut my profile down, I sent an email. I said, look, I'm going to shut this account down. Here's my name, here's my number, holler back if you want to. In 30 minutes, I get a phone call from this man named Thurman Peoples Jr. I said, Thurman? I said, you Caucasian? I don't know no African American named Thurman. Thurgood? What your name is? He said, Thurman Peoples Jr. I said, okay, you're a professor, you in school, what do you do? He's gonna give me after this, but anyway. He was like, I'm a truck driver. I'm like, no, you too articulate to be a truck driver. You're very well versed and talk like a Caucasian, so I need proof. He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you proof. I'm gonna take you out on a date. Let's go on a date. And he was like, believe it or not, I was gonna shut my profile down too. And I had been trying to reach out to you for months, and you wouldn't contact me. But we met up like that. The next day, we went to lunch. And I remember him walking me all the way back up to my building at the state of Tennessee. And I tell you, that's a long walk. That's a long walk. And he gave me a nice kiss on the cheek. And that next day, we had another date. And I had been praying to the Lord. I'm like, look, I've been through a lot, and anybody can't come up in my life or my children's life. And I said, he better come with a stamp on his forehead and tell me that he sent to me from you. The next day, that man had went and washed my car, waxed my car, brought me back Baskin Robbins, and everybody know I love me some ice cream. And he walked in the door and he said to me, he was crying, I'm like, what's wrong with him? He said, I'm sent to you by God, so you don't have any more bad days. Glory. That was confirmation, y'all. I specifically prayed to the Lord for what I wanted. He delivered. He let me know this is the man for you. So all the live feeds I've been doing, telling you guys to create your relationship resume of what you want, create your relationship description, your job description of what you want, and then talk about your benefits package of what you want and what you have to give. When you be very specific, you will become what you want to attract, and that will be delivered to you. My husband and I, we started dating, and we dated for 6 months, and he proposed to me because he knew what he wanted. He knew that God had delivered what he prayed for, and I knew what I had wanted. Baby, let me tell you, the second time around, what's that song by Shalimar? That's the best time. I am so happy. I'm at so much peace. I've never had anyone to love me and care for me and cater to me like he does. God told me, I remember Apostle Garrett told me, he said, God is going to give you double for your trouble. I didn't know what that meant, but he did. And a wonderful man that accepts me and my children for who we are and loves my children like they're his own. I don't believe in the term stepfather. He is their father. Yeah, I said that he is their father. He's the one that taught them how to fish. He's the one that teaches them how to drive. He's the one that provides for them. He is too their father. And I thank you for that. So, I talked about believing in yourself. I talked about knowing who you are. And that's earning the reputation of a subject matter expert on your job, constantly improving who you are, learn how to motivate your children, and learn and know the history of who you are and your people and your nation. Know your rights. Don't let any president, don't let any government official take away who you are as a citizen of the United States of America. Know your rights and know who you are. You know, Pulaski, we're here in Pulaski, which is the home of the KKK. We don't grow up being intimidated. We don't run and we don't fear. We speak love, we speak peace, and we speak harmony And, you know, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, we just had that to try to come in our backyard, didn't we, Juwan?
Absolutely.
Where the KKK tried, yeah, they tried it. They tried to come and march and form and shut things down. Murfreesboro shut it down so quick. Didn't they cancel the event? Mm-hmm. They canceled and went home. We don't play that. We have to stand up for our country and fight for freedom, fight for unity, fight for harmony, and fight for love. There is no place in spirit for hate anywhere in this world. We're going to love one another, because that's what we're called to do. And we're going to join professional organizations. We're going to maintain our physical and mental health. If you don't know how, hit me up at plcbookings2018@gmail.com, and I can show you how to get your physical health intact and your mental health. That's what I do. That's my passion. That's my calling. I'm a life coach. And last, enhance your professional qualifications. So that's the be, the know, and the do. So now that I said all that, everybody said, Renona, how did you survive? How did you make it to who you are? So you're telling me that you were abused, verbally, physically, mentally, financially, and then you're telling me that you had your kids ripped away from you, but now you literally live in their backyard and your children are right there with you, and you never missed a beat, and they love you, they adore you, and they're almost grown, and you're going to have the best relationship even after they're grown. God gave me back everything that the devil tried to take from us, so it wasn't even worth it. And then they say, okay, we remember seeing you being broke, busted, disgusted. You had all these nice cars that were repoed. You had this big nice house that was taken away from you, but now you got another nice house. You got nice vehicles. You got a good career. How did you do it? I'm going to show you how. I learned to fight. When you learn to fight, sometimes you got to come out those wigs, that weave, that makeup, them heels. You got to go to war. You got to put on your war gear. You got to put on them combat boots. You got to get your battle plan, and you got to know how to fight. Because if you can't fight for yourself, who else gonna fight for you? So y'all better learn how to fight. So when you fight, you want to go to war with me? That really ain't what you want. So what did I tell y'all? I told you that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? I want Juwan to come up here if you don't mind, and Kim also. When you go to war, you better have your battle plan ready. You better be ready. You better be ready. Omega, I want you to come up here too, because I need you to get this on Facebook. They need to see what I'm talking about, how to fight. So you come right here. So when you go to battle, when you're at home and you need to know what you're doing, you better know that it's wartime. Just like in the Army, when they have their battle plans together, y'all know what I'm talking about. We watch some cool movies and have it all laid out. Wartime mission. The first thing you do, you got to prepare. You got to prepare and know that you're on a mission. What is your mission? Our mission as women is to survive. I don't care if it's financially. I don't care if it's as mothers. I don't care if it's on our jobs. I don't care if it's being by ourselves or with a mate. You better know what your mission is, and then you better prepare. You better prepare by saying, okay, how many hours do I got to work to make it this week? What do I got to put aside in my savings to be able to make it? And execute it. When you execute, baby, at that point, just like in the military, you be ready to deploy. Deploy means move into position. Move into your position of who you are as a woman. And know who you are as a woman. And then that's going to help you to get to your destination. Just like in the war, they deploy and they go to Iraq and they go to all these places as a woman. You better know what your destination is. Where are you trying to get? I'm trying to be married. I'm trying to be in a good relationship. I'm trying to be financially free. I'm trying to be debt free. I'm trying to be healthy. Know your destination. And baby, when you know your destination, now it's time to fight. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. And as we're fighting, you got to know what soldiers you want in your army. I don't want no weak women by me. I don't want no hating, two-faced, backstabbing women with me. I want some soldiers in my camp. Like Sister Ann and Sister Sharon, Sister Kim, Sister Omega, Sister Joanna. I need some strong, powerful women in my army so we can fight. And when we fight, then we win the battle, baby. And when you win the battle, what do? You survive. That's when you become a survivor. And then at the end, the AAR, military knows all about that. After action review. What did I do? Why did I do it? And how could it have been done better? What did I do? I married a man that I knew was abusive. Why? I missed my daddy. I needed a father figure that I didn't have. How could it have been done better? As a little girl, I wish I had known my worth and who I was as a little girl and how I was a queen and how I was born to survive and that I was more precious than diamonds and rubies. If I had known that as a little girl, I would have never allowed myself to be abused. I would have known my worth. How could I have done it better? I should have did this right here, had my war plan together, my battle plan, and created my exit strategy. When you create an exit strategy, even just like in the army, you can't just walk out them barricades knowing that them snipers are all around. You can't do that. You better sneak out like a thief in the middle of the night and know when to escape. Just like an abusive relationship, you can't just walk away and run away. You gotta know, you gotta have your exit strategy. So you need the right people in place that's in position. So when you call them in the middle of the night, if your key is at 3 a.m. in the morning, it's cold, and your car won't start up, you ain't got no gas. Girl, I'm calling you, because I need you to come get me. I'm here to escape. Come get me. You gotta have your exit plan together. Girl, remember I told you where that money was stashed away that I gave you to hold on to for me, my savings? Go ahead and grab it and come get me. Take me to that secret destination that I told you about where he can't find me. That's your exit strategy. And then know the right people that's going to support you with food, clothing, shelter, gas that's going to help you find a job if you have to go to another city or state. Get you an exit plan. And when you have all those things in place, my beautiful, wonderful women, that's how you survive. Thank you all so much. My name is Renona Peoples. I'm indeed a survivor, and I'm thriving. And I'm still moving, and I'm still pressing forth, and I don't quit. So if I don't do anything else today to encourage you, know who and whose you are. Know I have your back as my sisters, as my soldiers, and we're going to build and lift each other up and love each other. No more tearing each other down. No more being jealous and intimidated of each other. We're going to fight like soldiers in the army. We're going to survive this thing that we call life, and we're going to do it together. Again, I'm with People's Life Coaching. To contact me is plcbookings2018@gmail.com. I look forward to life coaching you to help you get to your God-given destiny in this world. And in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, then I'm going to exit to my theme song, Diana Ross, I'm coming out, because I am coming out, and it's time for the world to know who I am. So I'm going to come out. Diana Ross, I'm coming out. And in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, I fly like a butterfly, baby, and my words may sting you like a bee. But my name is Renona Peoples, and baby, I'm finally free. Thank you all. I love you so much. Let's say. Thank y'all. I'm coming out.
Go, girl.